And now, please, a massive welcome for my next guest, ladies and gentlemen, Toya Jackson. Toya, it's great to have you on.
Why, thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, I didn't realise until I came to research for this interview, there's actually 9 little Jacksons. 9 Jackson children.
How many did you think we were?
I knew there was 5 at least.
Yeah.
And then I knew there was you, and I knew Janet.
Yeah.
And I wasn't... And then I thought, oh, of course, because Randy came into 5 after. And then you've got a sister that, I'll be honest with you, I didn't know existed.
Never heard of her? Rebe?
Rebe.
That's true.
What does Rebe do for a living? She's not a performer.
No, Rebe has performed. Actually, she, you probably heard she had a song that was a very big hit called Centipede years and years ago.
Of course. Centipede, that got lots of feet tapping.
It's very good. I could pass it out.
So when the Jackson 5 were massive, when I was at school, the Jackson 5 were like one of the hottest bands in the world. Fantastic. Yeah. You were a teenager then. Didn't you say to your dad, why can't I be in the Jackson 5?
No, it wasn't me. I said, this is not what I wish to do. I want to go to school and study business law and probably entertain being a lawyer of that nature. And that all changed, of course, because my father, at the age of 16, he says, that's it, you're going to tap dance and you're going to sing.
It's a pity. It would have been quite handy to have a lawyer in the family, wouldn't it?
I know. It really would have. It really would have.
Now, I understand you were a kind of a crazy family, doing practical jokes and all that kind of thing.
I don't know if you guys have ever done it where you put a bucket of water on top of the door and you have someone come in and the water spills all over their face, their head, everywhere.
Isn't that quite dangerous?
No. Because it's plastic.
Oh, it's a plastic bucket?
Yes, it's a plastic bucket, and it's on top of the door.
And I suppose if you've got a 4-foot afro... Do you remember when Michael developed the moonwalk? Is that the kind of thing... You know the moonwalk?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Did he used to practice at home?
He used to do it every day. Actually, on Sundays, he would spend an hour just dancing.
You mean Sunday was moonwalk?
No, Sunday was the day to work out, meaning the day that he would take an hour and dance 1 hour straight, non-stop, every Sunday. Yes.
On his own or with the...
No, on his own. On his own. He would do it.
So, how long was the moonwalk a secret?
To be quite frank with you, I don't know if you guys get this show, but we have a show in America called Soul Train. And they have certain dancers that kind of stand out on the show. And there was this dancer by the name of Jeffrey who was always doing the moonwalk on that show.
Oh, so Michael didn't invent the moonwalk?
No, he taught him how to do it. He liked it. He saw it and he said, I like that. Can you show me how to do that? And he did.
That's fine, isn't it?
Yes.
That's fine.
Yes.
To be able to see someone moonwalking and saying, I want that.
Yes, and he gave it to him. It was the backslide then, and then he changed it to the moonwalk.
Oh, so he... Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people see the family through the eyes of Michael. He became the dominant Jackson.
Absolutely.
So how was that at home? Didn't that get on your nerves that he became the biggest? There must have been a part of you that thought, oh, Michael. Am I right?
That's so funny, but no.
Yes, you laughed that much. That is the laughter of recognition, Toya Jackson.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's interesting, though, how it happened. He just decided that he wanted to do a solo album, and he did it, and it just took off. It just went through the roof, and he's been a success ever since.
But there must have been a moment, like, I mean, the Jackson 5, the other 4, when he said, I'm off to the studio now to do the album, they went, oh, come on then, let's go. And he went, actually, I'm doing this one on my own.
That's exactly what he said. You're absolutely right when you said he went to the studio, and he says, no, this one, I'm doing it on my own. And the brothers kept waiting, well, when are you coming back? And he never did.
I bet he kept saying, you give it a couple of weeks' time, I'll be there.
Oh, no, he did.
Yeah, what was that $1 million deal?
No, it's true, he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it works.
It's got to have caused some... Now, is it true that he's got the Elephant Man skeleton at his house?
Yeah, have to ask him those questions.
Oh, come on, you've been around. He said, that's not a big... Of all the questions I could have asked you, is it true? That's not a biggie.
No, you're right.
You must have gone round then and said, what's
He
the skeleton?
does have some special things.
Does he have the elephant? Oh, well, I swear it will go no further.
Okay.
It does. Isn't that a bit scary?
No, no.
The film... You've seen the movie, have you?
Oh, of course. We used to watch it all the time. We used to go up to the mountains at one of the homes we have in the mountains, and the snow, Big Bear, and just we'd sit there and we'd watch it repeatedly. It's the storyline. We felt so bad and so sorry for this guy because of his condition. And when you see someone going through life that way, we had such a pity for him, and it was so sad. And our hearts just went out to him, and those are the kind of people that we are. So Michael took it a step further and said, I'm going to get
I'm going to get the skeleton, and then we'll somehow make it up to him. Yeah, we'll give the skeleton a nice home.
Because it's unfair to treat someone so differently just because of the way they look. And it's not fair.
He is seen as this strange figure now. I think that one of the things, because he became such a recluse, people think, what's going on?
You're right.
And there was a time when it was kind of seen as just that kind of crazy showbiz things, which I think people like. I don't know about you and the people in the audience. I like my celebrities to be a bit crazy.
Yeah?
You know what I mean?
Well, you like for them to be odd, to be different.
To be odd.
Mysterious.
No, weird is what I like. I want him to be watching that film with the Elephant Man skeleton. That's what I want. We'll be back with more from Toya Jackson, plus Harmar Superstar after the news. Welcome back. A few years ago, it kind of went darker, didn't it? And we have to talk about this because if Toya Jackson comes on the show and I don't mention the troubles that Michael's been in, people are going to think that you've come on and said, I don't want to talk about this, I don't want to talk about that, and to your credit, you haven't. So, what do you make of it all, Toya?
What do I make of what?
Make of the whole accusations that have been aimed at your brother, because it must affect the whole family. It's got to.
Well, of course it does, because it's your brother, and it's really sad because you will know and you will see that he will prevail. He will prevail at the end. Very much so. He's in good spirits. He's doing very well, and everyone's with him.
But it must be still a worrying time, isn't it?
It is, but you continue doing what you have to do. He's doing his music, he's doing everything that he needs to do. And that's what's important. You can't sit and wait for results of anything, because you know the truth.
So, you have doubted him in the past, I think it's true to say, isn't it?
With management. I know you don't understand that, do you?
No. I think one thing I should say is that although you're well known in the UK, we don't maybe know everything about your background that is known in America. So what do you mean by that, management?
Anything that's negative in your life, you get rid of it. I look at it as being cancerous. And if there's a cancer, you cannot take a little bit of cancer out and leave the rest in. So what I did was I took 7 years off. And I didn't do anything, any shows or anything. And I decided to get my life together, to get myself together. And what I did by that was I cleansed house. And by cleansing house, I got rid of all the negative people in my life, all the negativity. And I started with leaving the person that I was married to. And I got a divorce.
Now, this is your ex-husband, who was also your manager, is that correct?
Yes, he was. Who controlled everything. I had no right. Wouldn't let me speak to them. I wasn't allowed to call them. I wasn't allowed to use a phone. I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things. And this is the control.
When the first accusations, the Geordie Chandler accusations, came out about your brother, you spoke out not on Michael's behalf. You actually suggested in some interviews that you thought maybe he was guilty.
Yes, I went for the longest time not wanting to say anything, not wanting to speak, and management, as I put it, kept pushing and pushing and pushing. No, I won't say anything, I won't say anything. You better make a comment, you better make a statement. There are people out there suffering, you have to say something. You have to, no, nothing.
It's kind of incredible for us as a public to see you on television saying, yeah, I think Michael might be guilty. I've always, you know, my mother has always been suspicious and something should have been done about it, which you did say.
I'm listening.
Yeah, and to say that, and now to see you saying, well, no, I don't. It's kind of, we think this is like two people.
Exactly, but it isn't. It isn't. Under the influence of someone else, when you have... I didn't want to go into detail. Well, geez, I don't know if I can't go into detail with it. I want to, but I can't. I don't know if I have the right to do this because I'm contractually signed to something in America where I can't really speak of this subject. However, UK may be okay, and I think it...
Yes, it is okay. Well, yes, I think we're trying to understand.
You know, I'm just going to say it then. I think UK is okay to do it. It's because it's the States. I was under this control of this individual that if I didn't do or say what he said, he threatened me many times to not only kill me, but he would kill my brother and he would kill my sister. As strange as this may sound, I believe this man because I had seen things before and I've seen little things that could happen. And I didn't have a choice. And this is what my family know. My family knows everything about me and they know, that, well, you know your siblings. It's like, that's not her. She wouldn't do that. She wouldn't say that. Someone's controlling her. However, no one really stepped forward to try and stop him all the way, although they did, but he would cut them off each time, keeping them away from me. And it came to that point where I knew that he was going to kill me. So I phoned one of my brothers and said, when he went to the office and said, you gotta come get me. You gotta come get me. I'm tired of this control. I'm tired of this. And that's basically what happened. He came and he got me, rescued me. And I stayed there all day in my pajamas just in case he happened to come home to look as if I wasn't going anywhere. And there I did. He knocked on the door and he said, let's go. And we just ran out and we caught the plane. And I left. And I left everything there, just walked out. I was afraid if he would catch me in the act, I knew he would kill me.
Wow.
And he promised me he would kill me. He promised me if I didn't say certain things, he would kill my brother and my sister. So what do you do in a case like that? Do you say, I don't care, go kill them? I'm not saying it. Do you say that or you say, well, let me just do this now and I'll explain it to them later? What do you do?
Are you still afraid, Latoya? Of him?
Of him? I don't wish to have any contact with him. I don't
He's not here. Don't worry. I'm just... It wasn't a surprise guest I was going to bring on.
I would kill you.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, God, we'd all kill each other. No, but I just wondered if it ever quite goes away, that fear.
You know what? I don't want to give him that much power to think that he still has that control over me.
Well, just say no. You'll never know. Say no, I don't care, and I'd take him in a fight anytime.
I've grown a great deal. I've gotten a lot of my strength back, and I'm very positive about a lot of things, meaning that I'm stronger.
Do you know what? This has never happened to me before in my life, but I actually have an urge to do this and shout, "Go, sister." What about that? Speaking of sisters, do you like this shirt?
Your shirt?
Yeah, it's kind of... Oh, no! Oh, God! Latoya Jackson, touch my nipple! I want to say that was a complete accident. That was a wardrobe malfunction. Did you phone Janet after that and said, yeah, more wardrobe malfunction, Did you phone her about that?
You know what? After that happened, I can't remember if Jan phoned me or I phoned her, but the same day. I don't know if she called me or I called her, but it's like, what happened? She says, it was really, truly an accident, Latoya. I know people don't believe it. It was an accident. I said, don't worry about it. I said, but I want you to know something. It's going to be spread everywhere. She goes, you think so? I said, Jan, it's going to go everywhere.
Did you watch the Super Bowl then? You were watching the Super Bowl and suddenly there's one of your sister's breasts. That's never happened to me. Well, it was great entertainment.
Yeah.
She had Super Bowls. So
you made all that? You did that just for me, yeah?
I was up all day Velcroing. and this is what I thought. I was going to do the nose and take that off, but I thought that's been done.
Yeah,
so,
the nipple's better.
Yeah, this is funnier, isn't it?
I mean, he's going Jackson all the way, the nipple ring and everything.
Not all the way. So look, are you going to be going to court every day when this case happens? Are you going to be all there as a family?
Am I going to be going every day? Yes, I will be there. I don't know if I'll be there every day because, you know, there's other things that you have to do. But yes, we're all there to support. We're all there to support him.
Just pick the most exciting days.
Well, no, we have been going with him when he's appearing, and then, of course, we're going to be there when he goes.
Well, we have a picture of you, actually. I'll go into court with Michael. There you are. That is you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should have gone to Specssafe. I have to ask you this question, and we're gonna close now. Did you ever have doubts? Serious. Did you ever, about Michael, did you ever think this could be true?
You know what? I know that you probably want to get more into it, but you know that this is a case that's pending on him.
Yeah, I appreciate
and
that.
There's been so many restrictions with this, and I think I've kind of like gone over the top tonight with the discussion on it.
But you'd kind of agree, wouldn't you, that he's probably been unwise?
You know what it is, Frank? He has such a great love, we all do, for children. He has such a great love for children. And I know that when people say things, it's like he says to himself, no, I like all children, I like everything, and I will always provide for them and let them come and see the amusement parks and let them go and ride and let them do all these things. I'm not going to give that up. It's not so much that something's going on, it's just that there's this love for children. And it's very difficult, and I understand, for a lot of people to understand. And yes, it's come to the point where it's like, now they're getting you in trouble.
Exactly. He has to stop.
Yeah, now
because
they're
if
getting
he
in
is
trouble.
innocent, I don't know. Either way, I know. Honestly, I found it hard to find an opinion because the people who are accusing all seem to be slightly dodgy people anyway.
Well, you will see. He will definitely be vindicated.
Well, I hope he's innocent because I hate to see a celebrity who was a big star brought down by something like that. Obviously, if he's guilty, let him burn. But I'm hoping he isn't.
Yeah.
OK. Toya, it's been great talking to you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for coming. Toya Jackson.
LaToya Jackson will not be ignored. She's back in the public eye and speaking her mind about everything.
Because I've never really openly spoke about this.
Brother Michael.
You feel his pain, and you wish that it could all end or come to an end and stop.
Her plastic surgery.
Aren't you inquisitive?
And even her painful past.
They're not very pleasant days. And they were just not pleasant days. Okay, can we just stop for 1 second?
But now LaToya is starting over with a new album and a new attitude.
It's about time for me to be brave.
VH1 went on a wild ride with Ms. Jackson from the mean streets of Beverly Hills.
We just got a ticket.
To South Beach.
Wait, what are you doing? That hurts.
To the Kentucky Derby. It's an exclusive insider's look at all things Jackson through the eyes of LaToya.
My parents taught us having contact with people. It's all a part of the business. And if you don't like it, get out of it.
This is VH1 All Access Spotlight, LaToya Jackson. LaToya Jackson out and about is something you've got to see to believe.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Everywhere she goes, from Hawaii to Beverly Hills to Miami, a curious crowd quickly gathers.
We're so gorgeous. Thank you.
Whether they marvel at her physique or are drawn to her peculiar Jackson mystique, she always causes a stir.
What's your name? Charmaine.
And now she's taking the show on the road big time. LaToya is everywhere, promoting her 2004 album, Startin' Over.
I'm getting dressed to look my best tonight.
Starting over is basically eradicating the past from my life, getting rid of all the garbage, all the rubbish, all the nonsense, and I'm very happy that I did it.
The CD is the culmination of a harrowing journey to hell and back.
They're not very pleasant days, and they were just not pleasant days.
Her life has been a series of highs and lows that at times left her a shattered recluse.
I stayed in the house for a long time. So embarrassing.
She poured her heart and soul into starting over, co-writing all the tracks. The 3-year labor of love helped LaToya rediscover herself and cope with the turmoil that comes with being a Jackson.
It was very cathartic, actually. For the first time, I could just feel relaxed and comfortable and do my music the way I choose to do what I want to do. And that's what I'm doing.
Starting Over is actually LaToya's 10th album. Her body of work, eclectic to say the least. There's the country album, the French one, the disco disc, and who can forget the 1984 classic, Heart Don't Lie. While LaToya's sound is certainly unique, you can't help but hear the influence of Sister Janet and Brother Michael. You should. For years, they've rehearsed together, harmonized together, and appeared in each other's videos. These days, the bond between LaToya and Michael is rock solid. She's standing shoulder to shoulder with her younger brother as he fights charges of child molestation. December 2003. While Michael was being charged with 7 counts of child molestation in California, LaToya was 3,000 miles away in Miami prepping for a TV appearance.
Today was kind of a rough day for me. Everything's going to work itself out. I know that.
LaToya has been reluctant to speak out about the sensational charges against her brother until now.
You feel his pain, and you wish that it could all end or come to an end and stop. And we're all supportive, and we're all praying and hoping that this is all over with very, very soon. And I truly believe in my heart that he will be vindicated.
The case has brought the often fractious Jackson family together in defense of one of their own.
I think it's brought a sense of awareness more to the family, a togetherness of awareness, meaning we must be careful with what we do and what we say and how we portray ourselves, because people are really misinterpreting everything that's being done.
LaToya insists that Michael's admitted fascination with children is purely innocent and not bizarre at all, claiming she shares the same affinity for kids as her brother.
When I'm down or depressed, I see a little kid, it just makes me happy. It just brings all the joy to my heart. The same for Michael. I think it comes from being in a large family.
LaToya, the middle child of Catherine and Joe Jackson's 9 kids, grew up in Gary, Indiana, with a particularly strong connection to Michael. He's just 2 years younger.
Michael and I were always close because we were the two that were so religious. We would go to school and everybody would have their lunch break, but we would just sit down on the grass and study the Bible.
But when the King of Pop first faced accusations of child molestation in 1993, LaToya was married and in what she now calls a controlling relationship. She broke from the family and turned on her beloved brother.
Michael is my brother. I love him a great deal, but I cannot and I will not be a silent collaborator of his crimes against small, innocent children.
Whether speaking out was motivated by her difficult relationship or came from a personal attempt to make headlines, LaToya Jackson will only say now that she was wrong back then. Today, she insists on her brother's innocence.
We always say that it's going to be fine, it's going to be okay, but he believes that too. He knows it because you know the truth, so he believes that as well.
Michaels isn't the only Jackson controversy LaToya's been dealing with. She wants to set the record straight about Janet's wardrobe malfunction at the 2004 Super Bowl.
When it happened, Jan called and said, I had no idea. He ripped it and it went the wrong way, and that's what happened basically.
In spite of all the controversies, life for the Jacksons must go on.
Can I get some champagne, please?
LaToya Jackson is high on life right now.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
An amazing transformation for a woman who said that she once was locked into an abusive and destructive relationship.
I was in this situation, this relationship, that I was afraid to, and I was threatened if I did leave.
That relationship was her marriage to Jack Gordon, a man she met in 1987 when her parents hired him to manage her world tour. LaToya says the union was so horrific, she won't even speak his name.
So they sent this individual over with me, and that's how it all started.
The two became involved and were married in September of '89. She claims Jack ruled her world through fear and manipulation.
I was afraid to do anything. There are people that can have total control over you, that control everything you do, everything you say, everywhere you go, who you see, who you're not to see, which I wasn't allowed to see anybody. If I spoke to you outside the door, I would be beaten. That was a natural given.
Her family and perhaps rescue was just a phone call away, but she couldn't reach out.
They didn't have a clue what I was really going through. I didn't want them to be a part of my problem. I felt this is something I had to get over, something that I had to work through, and I didn't wish to instill that upon my family.
By 1996, after 7 years of what she describes as a nightmare, LaToya was at the breaking
I
point.
finally got the nerve to leave. I didn't care at that point if I died or not. I said, this is it. I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did. So this is going to be fun.
Getting out was hard enough, but that was just the first step. She still had to heal herself.
I went through a period where I couldn't leave the house for 6 months. I had absolutely no human contact. I would just order food 3 times a day. And I would never see the people that would deliver. I'd just reach my hand out the door. It was that fear. It was that fear. But I've overcome that. It's funny because you look back on that today and you say, geez, I've come a long way. I was so terrified.
I'm getting dressed to look my best tonight.
And overcome it she did.
The first single is Just Wanna Dance.
That's what her new album, Startin' Over, is all about. LaToya's letting the world know she's gonna write the next chapter of her life.
Toya Jackson signing autographs right now for each and every one of you that are here.
It's about time for me to be brave, because being the underdog for so long and people putting you down, and with the encouragement of your fans, it's like, no, I can do this. I know I can. And of course you can. And I'm doing it.
Coming up, LaToya reveals the secrets of her killer body.
Aren't you inquisitive?
Now she's going under the needle.
Is it gonna hurt me? Oh my God, that hurts!
Then we'll do the mall crawl with her for the very first time.
I'm going for the soft ice cream.
And later, saddle up, we're hitting the Kentucky Derby. When VH1 All Access Spotlight LaToya Jackson continues. LaToya and Janet Jackson are pretty tight these days. They work out together and share a fascination for piercing.
I spoke to Janet and asked her how it felt to get a belly piercing, and she told me that it wouldn't be painful.
LaToya is about to get her belly button pierced in Miami. It's another sign that at the age of 48, the singer's living life to the fullest and going after what she wants when she wants it. Her sister Janet is no stranger to body piercing. She's got them from head to toe. Now she has LaToya jonesing for the needle.
She said it's very simple. You don't feel anything, just quick like that, like a little stinger pinch. You must be Harlan. Hi, I'm LaToya. And so you're the guy that's going to do it, yes? But is it uncomfortable? Okay.
These are your options.
I like this one. This is the moment.
I've been a bad, bad girl.
That's my piercing needle.
Okay.
I want you to watch your head when you go back. Perfect. The actual piercing is in the top part. I want you to put your hands to your side. Take a deep breath
Oh my God, that hurts!
Don't move,
Wait!
don't move.
What are you doing? That hurts!
in. You can't move.
Okay.
Your jewelry's in. The work is done. The work is done.
Jan, you lied to me. This hurts.
So, was it worth the pain?
Yeah, it is. It's very sore, but yes, I'm very happy because this is what I've always wanted to do. So finally, it's done. I'm happy.
Getting pierced isn't the first thing LaToya's done to change her body. She admits she's had some work done.
Yes, I had my nose done. I didn't like it.
And that's it? That's the only thing you've had done is your nose?
Aren't you inquisitive? Oh, this is going to be like the major little section of it, right?
Just asking questions that people don't know. I'm just a vessel.
No, I had my breast done. Well, you asked. Come on.
The Jackson family seems drawn to the plastic surgeon's office, with Michael reportedly leading the way with a makeover some people might consider, well, extreme.
I
I don't think it's as bad as what people think. If he's unhappy with something, I'm sure that's why he's doing it. But that's totally on him. That's up to him as an individual.
In fact, she sees Michael as a sort of plastic surgery pioneer.
Today, I think everybody's more open to it, and they understand now. It's just, if you don't like a dress, you change it.
LaToya has admitted to some nips and tucks, but will she go under the knife again?
I'm fine with the rest of me.
And the rest of her is in pretty amazing shape.
I really feel that being fit is critical to success in the entertainment industry.
In 1993, she released the Step Up workout video, but LaToya admits that she was no gym junkie.
I did an exercise video a while ago, and I worked out for 2 weeks just for that video. That was basically it.
That was then, but surely now she must be working out.
I would love to say that I work out, but I don't.
So what is LaToya's secret?
I eat once a day, which isn't good. But that's healthier. I really don't watch what I eat, but I am a vegetarian. I shouldn't say I'm a vegetarian because I love sweets.
She's fit, firm, and taking control of her life, bravely trying things she's never done before. Like going to the mall.
We're going to the mall to go shopping because I've been working all day and now it's time to play.
LaToya Jackson is on her way to her first visit to a shopping mall ever.
Just a shopping mall to walk around in and just enjoy and have fun. No, I've never really done that.
Along the way, LaToya cranked the tunes. Her choice, Just Wanna Dance, the first single off her new album. An outing with LaToya Jackson wouldn't be complete without some kind of drama.
Hi, you have your license and registration?
Yes.
My assistant just went through the double line.
I don't think this guy's gonna give him a ticket because I guess he told the guy it was you because I saw him look in the back seat there.
Let us go.
When the officer saw who was inside the car, it instantly brought a smile to his face.
Well, I didn't know Miss Jackson was in the back until the other gentleman advised me of it.
But he still gave her a ticket.
He's giving us
My
a
guy's
ticket.
still right.
Her brush with the law is only a temporary delay.
It's time to shop till we drop.
Oh my God. Oh well, here we go.
LaToya usually runs into exclusive boutiques on Rodeo Drive when she needs something, but mingling with the masses at a mall? Never.
This area is called the eatery?
The food court.
The food court, okay.
First stop, a makeover.
Am I too glittery?
While she's glamming up, swarms of fans are jamming up outside.
Yeah, I see the people.
My fans were so generous and so courteous and so thoughtful.
LaToya seems very comfortable with the whole experience.
My parents taught us having contact with people. It's all a part of the business. And if you don't like it, get out of it.
Next up, some hot new shades.
I think I might like this one. Now, these are classy, yes? Okay, I'm done.
Hordes of fans are building up outside, but nothing will come between LaToya and the crowning jewel of any mall experience.
I'm going for the soft ice cream. Okay, I'm next. Can I just have vanilla?
Yeah, in a cup or flavor.
This one.
With ice cream in hand, LaToya is right back to signing autographs.
Dorina with the D?
Oh, the cake.
So, with a full day of shopping and meeting new friends,
See you soon. Got all my bags and my goodies. Bye-bye. See you next time.
did she enjoy her day at the mall?
Definitely. I had lots of fun.
LaToya Jackson, mall rat. Coming up, learn the secrets of winning at the track.
I put 20 on all the horses, right? So how could I lose?
Then LaToya celebrates her birthday Hawaiian style.
What a surprise.
When VH1 All Access Spotlight LaToya Jackson LaToya Jackson hasn't released an album for almost a decade. She's been in seclusion for 9 years, but somehow everyone knows who she is
How are you? I'm fine.
the minute she steps on the red carpet.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So much.
People, when they see you, a lot of times they're just so happy. They say, I'll never see you again. And I understand that.
LaToya's traveled to Louisville for the Kentucky Derby, where she'll watch the race and raise money for charity.
Of course, we're here for diabetes.
The night before the Derby, there's a star-studded gala fundraiser. It's a chance for her to show off that great body and rub elbows with other celebs.
you lose all your money, then you be mad at me.
Mixing it up with the pretty people is fine, but LaToya ducks out early. She's got to be fresh for the world's biggest horse race.
It's so exciting just to see the horses run and bet on them and hoping that yours win at the moment. That's what I love about it. I'm sorry, I have Tic Tacs in my mouth, guys.
Here we are at the Kentucky Derby, and as you can see, it's wonderful, and I love staying close to the finish line, which is right there. I'm betting on Smarty Jones, and I hope my horse wins.
Someone actually places her bets for her, of course, but she did win one of the warm-up races.
I won this morning. But I put 20 on all the horses, right? So how could I lose?
Toya's on her own kind of hot streak, but for the Derby itself, she'll need more than luck. She'll need Patrick Swayze?
So good. I did quite a few, actually, to make sure I win.
And they're off.
Come on, baby!
LaToya won again, a cool $5,000.
It's all over, and of course, yes, I did win. It was Smarty Jones. See you later.
Okay, bye, darling.
Take care. Good luck to you.
Thanks, you too. It's good to see you.
Next up, Hawaii to promote her new album, Starting Over.
I love the water. That's why, one of the reasons why I love Hawaii so much, the serenity of it all. I love it, but I don't like to get in it. Isn't that weird?
First up, a Waikiki sports bar, where she poses for pictures, signs some autographs, and celebrates the launch of her new CD. Then it's time for a little pampering.
You need to break away from all of the nonsense and have that sense of peace. And Hawaii brings that to you. Hi, guys.
Today is a special day, her 48th birthday.
Oh, you guys! Oh, what a surprise that is. We're Jehovah's Witnesses and we don't celebrate. Grew up that way.
Sitting in a tropical paradise, LaToya soaks up this special moment. It seems she is always swept up in some Jackson family media storm, but this celebrity refuses to let the controversies that swirl around her, Michael, Janet, and the rest of the family consume her. She's taking control of her life with a new album and a whole new outlook. LaToya Jackson truly is starting over.
I know that life is short. I know that I need to enjoy life, and so I'm enjoying everything. I'm just doing whatever I want to do now.
I'm getting dressed to look my best tonight. It's Friday night and I can't wait to party. Right out my door, first on the dance floor, and I don't care if no one shows up.
She comes from the most famous musical family in the world, a family repeatedly touched by scandal. Her father was accused of being abusive. Her brothers accused of pedophilia. Her sister criticized for indecent exposure on national TV. And now, tonight, LaToya Jackson tells her own shocking story. For the first time, she talks in detail about the man she says controlled her, body and mind, turning her publicly against her brother Michael and the Jackson family. Here's Don Daly.
No trouble, no trouble, no trouble, no trouble.
In a family from which we've come to expect the unexpected, LaToya Jackson has always delivered. Through the years, her every move seemed to generate scandal and controversy.
My life was in such a shambles. I felt that I needed a timeout. I felt that I needed to regroup. Welcome to Psychic Discovery.
She did just about anything to cash in on her famous name. Posing for Playboy, hosting softcore porn films, all to the shame of her family.
This was not the LaToya that my family knew. It was not the LaToya that friends knew. It was not the LaToya that's LaToya.
The LaToya that became a national joke was the creation of Jack Gordon, she says, her former manager and ex-husband. She insists for nearly a decade he controlled almost every aspect of her life with violence and physically abused her almost daily.
When he hit me the first time, I was in shock. I just recall my ear ringing, just ringing so hard.
How much abuse was there?
A lot of abuse. He didn't beat me every day. There were days where he would, I'd get slapped or he'd kick me. Yeah, this is where we grew up.
LaToya is now talking about the often hard-to-hear details of what she describes as a decade of unyielding abuse.
I've never discussed it. I've always kept it private. I felt that people wouldn't actually believe it because of my background, because of the family that I came from.
At 48, she's starting over with a new CD of the same title. It's an autobiography on record, she says, with graphic lyrics that reveal her painful secrets.
Why didn't you just pick up the phone, dial 911, or dial your very powerful family and say, this is what this guy's doing, get me out of here?
I couldn't do that. I could not do that.
LaToya was born into one of the world's most famous musical families. She wanted to be an entertainment lawyer, but Joe Jackson wanted his daughter to sing.
When my father said you got to do something, you did it. You didn't ask questions, you just did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Toya Jackson.
In 1980, at 24 years old, she branched out on her own.
What kind of a person are you? Are you outgoing or shy?
No, I'm very shy.
She was also very religious and very sheltered. The middle child of 9, 2 years older than Michael, she was a homebody who lived with her parents until she was 29.
My mother was my best friend. Actually, she was practically my only friend.
Looking back, it's that cloistered childhood, she says, that made her ill-prepared to face the real world.
Not recognizing that intention is a real fast way to get yourself in a whole lot of trouble. And I did. I did.
In the mid-'80s, Jack Gordon worked for Joe Jackson and helped him manage LaToya's career.
Don't have my name on it. It's LaToya.
Catherine Jackson remembers the day her daughter left home for a business trip to Japan with Gordon. No one expected what happened next.
He just never came back. The very first time he went, he never came back with her.
He only took control of me. Took my passport, took everything, so I couldn't get back. I couldn't do anything.
Gordon controlled everything, she says. He transferred her bank accounts into his name, dictated when and where she worked, and monitored her every phone call.
He's the most conniving, wicked. I don't think there's words that can describe him.
LaToya says for the next 10 years, she lived with Gordon, paralyzed by fear.
Tell me about the closet in Manhattan.
I would go, and I would have to sit in with the door closed and the lights on.
When he said, go into the closet, he'd go into the closet.
Yeah, or there would be a beating, another beating. Yes, of course. Of course you do that.
Would he lock you in?
No. He would close the door, and I would sit in the closet. And I wasn't to come out.
LaToya says Gordon's threats didn't stop with her. He also threatened her siblings, Michael and Janet.
When he says to me, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill your brother, and I'm going to kill your sister.
He threatened their lives.
He threatened their lives.
What made you think, though, he was capable of harming them?
There are things that I knew.
What LaToya knew was that Jack Gordon was a convicted felon with a shadowy past. In 1982, he served 4 months in prison for attempting to bribe the Nevada Gaming Commission. And in 1984, he was arrested for a prostitution charge and later pleaded guilty.
People know a lot about what's going on, but they won't tell you until after the fact. And they said that he had said, I told you I was going to get me a Jackson.
And that's just what happened on September 5th, 1989, when LaToya says she was coerced into marrying Jack Gordon who was 20 years her senior.
To this day, I don't understand the marriage. I just don't understand the marriage. Why?
When she tried to get the marriage annulled, she says Gordon flew into a rage.
He grabbed me and said, I own you. Don't you understand? You're mine. And he took my head and he started banging it on the corner of the table in the room and just banging it and banging it.
Days later, this photograph of her badly beaten face appeared in the press. Gordon reportedly said his wife had been attacked by strangers in their hotel in Rome.
There were so many times. We've only seen pictures of 2 incidents.
The other incident happened in 1993 when Jack Gordon was arrested for beating LaToya with a chair.
He called his friends and said, she's dead, I killed her. Because I was lying in a puddle of blood and I was out.
LaToya never pressed charges. Gordon told authorities he was defending himself from his wife, who held a knife. Jack Gordon told 2020 that LaToya's allegations against him are just not true. He denies ever holding her hostage or beating her. Nonetheless, LaToya blames Gordon's violence for her outrageous behavior, including her infamous Playboy photo shoots.
I didn't have a clue. I thought it was just going to be like teddies or something like that. They were nightgowns and they came off. And I didn't know that. Silly me.
It may sound hard to believe, but LaToya insists she never wanted to pose for Playboy even once, let alone twice.
He beat me on the other one as well, which I don't need to think about.
The second layout.
Yeah, that one I had to wait before I did that one because I had bruises and I had to wait a while to do that. Yeah. But it's over with now. It's all finished. And that's what's so great about life and starting over, because you can start over, and that's what I've done. And it's the past, and I don't wish to speak about the past. Okay? I'm so sorry. I tried to be strong for so long here.
You have to.
Can I? Please? Yes.
There are so many such things LaToya would like to walk away from and never talk about again. But she says she knew before she could escape everything she'd gotten mixed up in, she would first have to escape Jack Gordon.
LaToya Jackson spent 10 years in a relationship that she says was physically and emotionally abusive behind closed doors. But other low moments unfolded publicly, including the time she turned on Michael Jackson, her brother, in front of the world. Don Daler continues now with LaToya Jackson.
This is LaToya 10 years ago. After 2 top-selling Playboy covers, she was at it again, this time on video. The Jackson family bad girl seemed fiercely determined to make a living with her clothes off. Her apparent willingness to pose nude was, she says today, a lie. It was instead part of ex-husband Jack Gordon's plan to sexually exploit her for millions of dollars.
There are fantasy scenarios in this tape. It did not look like you were being forced to do this.
I did what I was told to do.
And you don't seem like you're unhappy.
I have to admit, I was professional when it came to that.
Exposing herself was one thing. Exposing her family was another.
My family pays an awful lot of money to get out of a lot of things. I was there, I lived there, I know what goes on.
Your daughter said damaging things about the family.
Yes.
Did things that were an embarrassment to you.
Yes. It's very embarrassing.
I'm running late.
The comments that caused the most damage have now come back to haunt LaToya. 11 years ago in Israel, she attacked her brother's behavior with children.
You condemned Michael for molesting young boys.
I remember that well.
Gotta move! LaToya claims Gordon forced her to read from a script.
But I cannot, and I will not, be a silent collaborator of his crime.
You don't seem like you're reluctantly repeating something that the puppet master is making you repeat.
And these kids are going to be scarred for the rest of their life.
You have actual emotion and outrage in your voice.
I do, and I better have it in my voice. I better do it with it, and I better do it with conviction. I've been beaten too many times not to do it with it.
But did you believe what you were saying?
On my own? Absolutely not. I love my brother. Michael is one of the sweetest persons on this earth. You have no idea. He is so misunderstood.
Have you talked to Michael about that press conference?
No. We have never discussed that press conference.
Michael! LaToya admits that heartfelt family talks are just not the Jackson way.
We do talk, we do touch on subjects, but a heart-to-heart sit down, no.
It's just not the way it's done.
In my family, no. We kind of like breeze over topics. It's always done that way for some odd reason. But it's okay.
To keep the peace.
It works. And that's what's important.
With the start of her brother's criminal trial for child molestation just days away, LaToya explains that the same sheltered upbringing that led to her troubles has also contributed to Michael's.
He is so disconnected with the outside world that he doesn't understand how they view him. And it's really sad. But I don't think that he will stop seeing children because when you don't see anything wrong that you're doing, it's like, but I'm doing nothing wrong.
Hanging out with young boys looks wrong to society.
He loves children. We all love children. It's been quite difficult having this great love for children because people take it the wrong way. And the results are upon us today, as we can see.
Michael continued with children because he was innocent. The people that accused him know they're lying.
Both mother and daughter are certain that Michael is a target.
Why would a boy nurse someone else back to him and then turn around? And even when they're sick, this kid was sick. He was dying. Why would he molest him? Would you? Nobody would. A sick child? No.
As the Jacksons rally to support Michael in the fight of his life, LaToya remembers her own struggle to free herself from Jack Gordon. It was the spring of 1996, and she had reached rock bottom in her life and her career. She says Gordon was insisting she do the unthinkable.
He had me scheduled to do a pornographic movie, and I wasn't going to stoop that low. He had made me do everything on this earth, and I wasn't stooping that low.
While living in New York City with Gordon, LaToya says she marshaled the courage to finally reach out for help. She called her brother Randy in Los Angeles.
As soon as she called and said she was ready to come home, I told my son Randy, I said, you get on the plane right now and go and get her.
That day, she says Randy and a cousin flew cross-country to rescue her. While Gordon was out, she fled, she says, still in her pajamas, arriving in Las Vegas, where she filed for divorce and sued Gordon in civil court, claiming years of abuse, claims he continues to deny.
I look at it now and go, you idiot, why did you do these things? Why didn't you just walk away? It's not that easy. You just don't do it.
She says for the next several years, she kept a low profile, trying to heal.
Didn't leave the house for 6 months. I stayed in. I was terrified. Terrified of just him and life and not knowing what was on the other side of that door.
Today, 8 years after she left Jack Gordon, she is, as we said, starting over.
Is it like it always was?
She's back in the Jackson family fold and making up for lost time. She is the only Jackson sibling who's never received a gold record. In fact, her vocal abilities have often been the subject of ridicule. Now, with a new single that's done well on the dance charts, she hopes to change all that. But doing so will be a challenge.
You have certain people like the DJs, I don't know if we're going to play that because she can't sing. Listen to it. Mind you, everybody that gets it loves it. I'm a lot stronger than I used to be, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very happy at who I am today.
LaToya Jackson's new CD is out in May. We'll be right back.
Mijn volgende gast komt uit een van de beroemdste families ter wereld. We kennen natuurlijk allemaal haar broer Michael, haar zus Janet, maar zelf heeft ze ook een muzikaal verleden en op muzikaal gebied heeft ze flink aan de weg getimmerd. Ik ben vereerd dat ze hier is, dames en heren, een grote ster uit Amerika. Een enorm applaus voor the one and only LaToya Jackson! Toya!
Hi! How are you?
I just love that little pose that you did over there. You have to teach me that. Teach me that, Latoya. How did you do that? How did you do that? Let's do that.
I don't know what I did.
You did something like this, like.
Oh, just a wave.
Was that a wave? Oh, look at that. It's like royalty, right? Like yes, hello. Why don't they wave back? Hello.
You guys.
Fantastic, Latoya. That was fantastic.
Thank
You know when you're in the presence of a star. You make an entrance, Latoya. I'm just blown away.
Aren't you kind?
I am kind. Well,
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, and you look fabulous.
Why,
fantastic.
thank you.
Also, you look very, what's the word? Clear-eyed. You look very healthy.
Oh,
you're
being kind. Thank you. I've been up like 36 hours. I know I'm tired and exhausted. I hope I don't look it, but
no, you look fantastic.
So
Do you know that? I don't know. Do you drink alcohol or not?
I drink champagne.
Hey, how about this? We drink champagne on this show.
One? Thank you.
Here,
Thank you.
cheers.
Let's make it a cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming
Cheers.
on the show. Latoya Jackson, everybody's in the studio. It's not bad, huh? Yeah, you can put it there. You can put it there. I'll get the table here. But, it's actually, the way I feel, the Jackson family, America doesn't have a royal family, but the Jacksons would come close to it. Sort of, it's the equivalent of the American royal family, isn't it, the Jacksons?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I'd like to think that, but thanks very much. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
We're always there, busy doing things, and always in the eye of the public.
Definitely. Because that never stops, huh?
Never stops. Never. There's always something going on or someone doing something.
Do you follow everything that's being written about the Jackson family? Do you get clippings every day? Or?
No. It's better to stay away from that because you never know what you're going to get or see. But no, I don't follow it. If I'm watching television, it happens to be on, that's wonderful, that's great.
Yeah.
But we normally don't. It's really interesting because my mother, she makes it a point. She just doesn't want to watch television. It just hurts her so badly if she hears something negative about anybody in the family. She gets so torn by it.
It's actually a very healthy thing to do, I think.
Stay away from it?
You have to stay away from it, yeah.
Well, in her eyes, yes, that's what she does.
Yeah, it's very good. But, Latoya, we're going to talk about everything about your life and what you're up to nowadays. But sorry for the burp, but that's the champagne. It always happens to me. Even in the presence of royalty, I start to burp. That's me. But the thing is that I did a lot of research about your life, and I got to tell you, we made a nice montage about some of the stuff that happened to you. And you can hold my hand, because it's quite a roller coaster ride, your life so far.
Yes.
It is true. So sit tight.
Okay.
Hang back.
Okay.
This is Latoya. This is your life in 2 minutes. Here we go.
De Amerikaanse Jackson-familie heeft als geen ander haar stempel op de popgeschiedenis gedrukt. Niemand anders scoorde zoveel hits. De Jacksons waren in de jaren 70 een sensatie. En met name Michael zorgde er in de jaren 80 en 90 voor dat de naam Jackson wereldwijd een begrip werd. Michael werd een superster, zoals we dat nooit hadden gezien. Maar ook de zusjes lieten flink van zich horen. Zo ontpopte Janet zich tot een professionele gelijke van Michael. En scoorde vanaf 1986 diverse grote hits. Maar ook schandalen. En net als je denkt dat je ze allemaal hebt gehad, is daar Latoya. Ze is de meest rebelse van de familie en zorgt voor schandalen. Zoals in 1989, toen ze in de Playboy alles liet zien. Met 8 miljoen exemplaren, het meest verkochte nummer ooit. Maar ze deed niet alleen voor het geld.
I did it because my parents tried so hard to dominate me and to control my life. It was making a statement to them that this is my life and I choose to do with it whatever I want.
Want de relatie met haar ouders is altijd zeer heftig geweest. Daar komen ze op terug. Ook Latoya staat al vanaf de jaren 80 op de bühne. Zoals hier met Sexbox. En een paar jaar daarvoor met het legendarische You're Gonna Get Rocked. Wat dat betreft is broertje Michael natuurlijk haar grote voorbeeld. Hij heeft alles gedaan waar Latoya van droomt. Zegt ze ook zelf op deze bijzondere home video.
I'd like to be right now where you are. That's my biggest dream.
She keeps saying that.
Because you've done it all, practically.
I haven't done it all.
Yes, you have.
Maar hoe goed haar band met Michael ook was, in de jaren 90 ging het valikant mis tussen de twee. Onder druk van haar manager en echtgenoot Jack Gordon verklaarde Latoya in een emotionele persconferentie dat Michael inderdaad kinderen misbruikte.
Now you stop and you think for 1 second and you tell me what 35-year-old man is going to take a little boy and stay with him for 30 days and never leave the room. I love my brother, but it's wrong. I don't want to see these kids hurt. I've been hurt by it too. My father molested me sexually and I don't like it.
In haar boek beschreef ze uitgebreid hoe vader Joe, Latoya en Michael misbruikte.
There was all kinds of abuse. It was physical, it was of course emotional, and it was sexual as well. Do you think that when a father puts a gun to your head and pulls the trigger, is that abuse or is it not?
Maar na de scheiding van haar beruchte echtgenoot Jack Gordon bleek alles te zijn verzonnen. Hij had Latoya hiertoe gedwongen en haar jarenlang mishandeld.
He threatened me many times to not only kill me, but he would kill my brother. And he would kill my sister.
Gelukkig is deze moeilijke periode inmiddels 10 jaar geleden en is ze weer helemaal verzoend met de familie. Latoya doet losse klussen, treedt op en is gewoon lekker bezig. En dat ze geen hit scoort, maakt er geen reet uit.
And it's exciting, it's wonderful. Am I worried about it? Absolutely not. But I am worried about this top coming over.
Hier is een spraakmakend lid van de beroemdste showbizfamilie ter wereld. Waanzinnig applaus voor Toya Jackson.
I'm going to strangle you.
What?
I'm strangling you. I promise I'd strangle you.
Yes,
that was nice, very nice.
That was nice, huh?
Yes,
But a lot of stuff,
Yes, a lot of roller coaster rides, up and down, and it's very interesting. It's because I'm completing when I leave here, and I leave Europe. I go back and I complete 2 more songs, an album that I have out called Starting Over, and the album is called that for one reason. When you go through a lot of turbulence in your life, especially with the manager that I had, who pushed me and made me do things and say things, and you have no control over it if they threaten to kill your brother or your sister.
Wow. Yeah.
So you say to yourself, what do I do? Do I not say it or do I say it or whatever the case is? It's important to get rid of all the cancer in your life, all the negativity, that was all negative, and now there's a new life, a new world, a new me, whole new venture. I think it's important for everybody to start over fresh and clean.
Yeah, and starting over, because that's apparently what you've done. I mean, obviously, that's why I said to you when I first met you, it was like, you're very clear-eyed. I mean, because if somebody has gone through that and looks like you do nowadays, you know that they've overcome it.
Yes, it was a terrible, terrible experience, the entire ride was, and I'm so happy that it's over with, and I'm so happy that I was able to wake up and get out of that situation and free myself from that, because it wasn't easy to move away from that.
No, definitely, I can understand that.
Very
and you're
difficult.
the 5th of 9 children, aren't you?
Yeah, in the middle.
You're in the middle, right in the middle.
The middle going down, yes.
So who have we got? So 9, because I was going over that in my head. I mean, we know Michael, we know Janet.
The eldest is my sister Rebe.
Rebe, yeah.
Yes, she's the firstborn. And then, of course, there's Jackie.
Yeah.
And then you have Tito, my brother.
Tito, that's Jermaine.
Yeah. Then Jermaine, of course.
Yeah.
Yes. And then there's me.
Yeah.
You have Marlon, you have Michael, and you have Randy, and you have Janet.
That's it, 9 children.
We were 10.
10.
But Marlon had a twin that passed away during birth. Right after he was born, he passed away.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, but it's still very big family, very big family. And musical family, from the start. I can imagine you growing up in that environment. There was always music around, was there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there was always music, everybody rehearsing and singing and doing all those things, which makes it even better, because I think if I had a choice, I wouldn't change growing up in a large family. It's the most incredible thing. It's fun, it's loving, there's always something to do. There's always practical jokes that are being played on somebody in the family. So it's an interesting life, it really is.
But did you have, I mean, you probably didn't have favorite brothers or sisters, but were there some you were closer with than others? Growing up, who were you closest to?
I didn't have favorites, but it's so funny because you'll be so close with the brother, then he gets married, so you lose him, and then he goes off with the wife. Yeah. And that happened with almost every single brother. Yeah. Michael and I ended up being the closest always. We were always together. We lived together in New York together. We did a lot of things together. But basically, Jermaine and I were close at one time, and then of course he got married, and my brother Jackie, and he got married, and Marlon, and he got married. They all just married off, of course.
From the montage that we made, one of the most extraordinary clips I find is where you and Michael sit together, and you tell him that actually you admire him so much for what he's accomplished. And to me it looked a little bit like you saw Michael as an example, you looked up to him, you adored him, but it was always going to be a big mountain to climb for yourself because you looked up to him so much. Am I right about that in a sense?
I think he's one of the best entertainers there is. I think he's accomplished so much, a great deal. And he knows that I was always so shy. It's like, I could never do what you're doing. He just gets out there and he does it. And he goes, yes, you can. He would always say, you know, just try, just try. I go, but he's so great at it. So
and he was very shy about you complimenting him. Huh? He was very embarrassed almost.
Yeah, basically everybody's shy in the family. It's very interesting to be such a large family and such a talented family, but yet so shy at the same time. But he's accomplished so much, and he would say always, oh, this is nothing.
Where do you think that shyness comes
more.
from? Where does that shyness come from?
My mother.
Your mother?
Oh, yeah, absolutely my mother. And I think the way we grew up, too, we grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Yeah, we grew up Jehovah's Witness, so I think that has a lot to do with it, because we were very sheltered. We stayed away from the world and everything else.
Because it's true, because everybody you see from the Jackson family is very soft-spoken, including you. And, you know, it's that shyness. So from being locked away, from being outside of the world, in a sense.
My mother, she's soft-spoken as well. My father, he is, I would say so, but he always tells my mother, he goes, you know, he calls her Kate, her name is Catherine, of course, and he goes, Kate, all these boys that we had, and they all took after you, every last one of them. He always says that there.
That's fantastic. You're not a Jehovah's Witness anymore, are you?
No, I believe in certain things, but no, I'm not a devout Jehovah's Witness, meaning I don't go.
No.
Because we normally, we have studies and 5 times a week, so it's a bit much, and
very religious upbringing.
I think as long as you have God in your life, that's fine. If you have that relationship, that personal relationship with God, and He knows that, and you know that, that's all that really matters. I don't always think or believe that you have to go to some type of temple or organization to really bring God into your life, to be spiritual, as long as He knows that you're there, and you study the Bible and read it all the time.
When did you start to feel estranged from the family? Because we need to cover that area, because I mean that's where all your battling begun as well. That's how you can start over now, because you came over that. I mean, you dealt with that. But where did you feel? When did that start, the estrangement?
It was my manager, the management, which was I never like to say his name because it was such a bad influence, and it was a control factor. And a lot of women, they probably get this in their lives. You don't realize it. He became my manager, and what he basically did was, my parents couldn't go to Japan with me, so they sent him, because he was working with my father. And they sent him with me to Japan. My mother couldn't make it, my father couldn't make it. And when he went over to Japan with me, the minute we got there, he took my passport, and he says, you're never going back. And do you know, I never saw my family in many years. He would never let me go back. And from that point onward, he started doing slightly little things. The abuse came, the control factor. No, you stay in your room, you don't do this, you say this. I never saw people, I never associated with anyone. I would only go on stage, perform, and sing, back to the limousine, back to the hotel, back to the plane.
Well, what did he tell you? What did he tell you about your family?
Or have friends or anything.
Wow.
He told me I'm never going back, that now I'm his, and he's controlling me. And that's basically what he did.
Do you think now, how was he able to control you that easily?
Very easily. You know, now that I'm out of that situation, I go, geez, that's all you had to do was walk away. But I couldn't do that.
Why couldn't you?
Because the fear, when someone instills fear into you, and you're afraid of them, and they're controlling you at the same time, and they promise you they're going to kill you if you try to get away or do something, and they're keeping you watch eye there, and they have the security that they hired with your money, of course, and they're watching over you, and when they do that, you're just afraid, and you're afraid to make moves. So this went on for many, many, many years. And
he literally said, I'm going to kill you, your brother, everybody.
Yes. No, not everybody. Just myself.
And Michael.
Michael and Jan. And I believed him. I believed him because of things that I had seen from being with him. I believed him of things that he has been saying to other people. And when you see this, you see the threats, you see what's going on in the lives. And I can freely talk about it now, so it makes me feel good to get it out of my system. But you see these things, so you know he's going to do it. You know he's not joking. You know he's not playing. He had a lot of friends in New York on Mulberry Street. We spent a lot of time there. So I believed a lot of things that were going on.
True.
And it's like, wow, he's serious. And I knew a lot of people.
You know, it's a very current thing in Holland. It's a topic of national conversation for us, because there's a phenomenon called lover boys over here.
Oh, is that what they call them here?
That's what they call them over here, lover boys. But this is the exact same thing. I mean, this ticks all the boxes of a lover boy. that we know of. Just very controlled, and you can't get out. How many years?
You can't get out of it. It's such a controlled factor. And my mother, she found out during all this time, because my mother was busy, finding out and doing research and everything. She found out while he was with me, she said he was putting things in my food to keep my mind a certain way.
Sort of drugs?
Yes, that's what she was told from a doctor, that he gives mind-altering drugs to different girls that he's been with, and the doctors had given it to him. So they said, this is what he's doing to her. And I don't know the name of the drug, but they said it was the same thing that they give the soldiers sometimes when they go over to fight or whatever.
Okay.
That same sort of thing. But
were
anyway,
you in a personal relationship with him as well as in a sexual relationship?
No, it was not sexual, no.
Nothing.
No, but we did get married. He married me without my consent. It's a terrible story. This whole thing's a nightmare. But anyway, he was giving me these things. I never saw it, but what I did know, that I was never able to eat until he administered the food to me. You can eat now.
Wow.
Any hotel room, go to the room.
So
now you can eat your food.
How long does this last?
It lasts until I was finally able to walk away. And I walked away.
How many years?
How many years was it? It was too many years, I should say.
Yeah.
Probably about 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah, 10, 11 years. A long, long time.
So here's the thing. What made you walk away? How were you able to do that?
You know what it is, Robert? When you're in a situation like that and someone's controlling your mind and your thoughts and making you say things and telling you what to say, and you're not yourself, you don't remember what went on the next day, the following day, they're constantly keeping you that way.
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing. One day I asked for a Bible because I wasn't allowed to read anything. He would never let me read anything or watch television or do anything. So I asked for a Bible, and he slapped me. He says, no, you'll never touch a Bible. So I asked one of the workers, I said, please, if you can just get your hands on a Bible for me, because I felt I needed that in my life. I kept praying to God for help, to let go and let something happen, and please give me the strength to leave. And I just couldn't do it. So I asked for this Bible because whenever he would leave the house, we had a home in Paris. And in Paris, France, they have the locks that you lock the person inside. So he would lock me inside the house when he goes. Have you seen these locks where you can lock them inside? And I couldn't get out. So it locked me inside the house. Well, that went on for the longest until it got to the point when he would leave, he would tell me, now go in the closet. And I would literally sit in the closet for hours until he came back. That's how much fear he had instilled in me. Yeah. And there were certain days that he'd come back and just look and say, I'm just checking to see if you didn't leave the closet. And you know, I was so trained like a dog. I would just sit there on the floor in the closet like this the entire time. And I didn't know what to expect because if he comes back and I'm out, I know he's going to beat me again. So I just stay there. All that time I would stay there in the closet. And I said to myself, there has to be a better way. God, please show me the light. Please open it. Show me something. So I continued to ask for the Bible from different people. Please can you get the Bible for me? And finally, someone got a Bible for me. And when I got that Bible, I held on to it, and I wouldn't let it go. I took a shower with the Bible in my hand. I just wouldn't let it go. I felt that this is my protection. This is all I have, because I wasn't allowed to do anything else. And I said, this is my protection. I took a shower with it. I wouldn't let it go. And for some reason, I got so courageous 2 days after having that Bible. I said, I'm leaving, and you can kill me if you want. He says, if you go near that door, I'm going to kill you. And I said, you're just going to have to do that. And I don't know where the strength came from. It just came. It came. And I said, but before I do it, I need my passport, because I didn't have a passport or nothing. The driver's license, you can't go anywhere without identification. And there was a battle. He wouldn't give me the passport. And I got so courageous, I picked up the phone. I said, I'm going to call the police if you don't give me my passport. And I said, and I mean it. And that's when he beat me, and I have the marks from here he picked up a bottle and just says, no, when did you get this defiant? Because I was so passive. And I think it's from being a Jehovah's Witness. You believe people, you trust people, and he was Bengali, and he was a con man, and I didn't know that world. I was so...
But you had the strength.
I had the strength that day, and I got on the phone. He went that night, after that night, he went into the shower, and to take a shower, and I watched him, and I looked at the phone to make sure that he didn't pick up. The minute he got in the shower, I ran to my phone book, and I picked up the phone, and I turned to the J's, and there was the Jacksons, and I called the first number that I saw, and I dialed, and it was my brother, Randy. Randy answered the phone. I said, hi, Randy, it's Latoya. And he said, Latoya, hi, Latoya, where are you? I said, Randy, you got to listen to me, please. You got to come get me. He goes, where are you? I said, I'm in New York. Please come and get me. And he goes, hold on, hold on. I said, no, I don't have time. And he put my mother and my father on the phone, and they said, oh, Latoya, please come home. Where are you? I said, I'm in New York. I said, you guys have to save me. He's going to kill me. He promised he's going to kill me. So Randy, he says, he hangs up, and my father goes, Randy, get on the plane right now and go get her. Randy gets on the plane, and I tell you, he comes to get me, and it seems like a lifetime.
Right.
It seems like it was going to be such a long, long journey, because I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. And he's out of the shower, and he goes to his office in New York. And I keep my pajamas on all day, because I don't want him to think that I'm going somewhere. And I keep them there. And just in case he comes back, because all these little tricky things, like I'm coming back to check something suspicious, because how do I know he didn't look and see the red light on to know that I was on the phone? And I kept my pajamas on, and Randy says, he says, I'm almost there, I'm getting closer, I'm getting closer. I said, please hurry. I said, and I told him where I was. I was in a hotel, by the way. And I said, okay, this is the room number, come up. And Randy said, okay, be ready. And he knocked on the door. I took my pajama bottoms on, put on a pair of pants, and just left like that without nothing. I left with absolutely nothing. Just a little purse bag.
And did you get an immediate sense of freedom?
I was so afraid. I have to tell you, I thought I was going to faint at the door. I was so terrified and afraid. And I said, let's go, let's run, let's go. And Randy says, no, we're getting right back on the plane. And we got into the limo, and we went right back to the plane.
And you were free?
And I was free. Yes, I was absolutely
My jaw
free.
is literally on the floor. What a story. But you were free. I love this. This is fantastic. What a story.
Thank you.
I have been sitting and listening to this breathlessly.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What a story, what a story, what an escape, what an escape, and fantastic, fantastic. I got to take a quick break.
Okay, sure, go
I got to
ahead.
take a quick break and we'll come back, but this is a fantastic story, unbelievable. This is a movie, but I mean, it's such a, what a happy ending that you got out of it.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes.
And I want to know what it was like, you know, coming back, meeting the family again, meeting Michael again.
Absolutely.
And also I want to hear the real story about Michael. And you have to, you know, you give your point of view. And you're very honest about everything. So, dus, dames en heren, blijf hier. Straks meer met Toya Jackson. Wat een vrouw, wat een verhaal. Blijf hier.
It's the #1 show in the world. You have to be in that show. This is the livest motherfucking TV show I ever been on.
Woensdagavond. Ik zit hier met de enige echte Toya Jackson, die voor de break een verhaal verteld heeft van hoe ze uiteindelijk onder die verschrikkelijke man vandaan is gekomen. Eigenlijk onder die invloed van die man. En dan nog steeds ben ik daarvan onder de indruk. I was just telling you, I'm still impressed by that story you told, how you got out of that terrible, terrible, horrible relationship with this horrible man. But it must be so great sitting here nowadays and being free and being, you know, happy. And you're in great contact with your family, right? With the whole Jackson family.
Absolutely. I think that, I don't know if anyone really knows what it feels like to taste real freedom. And you have to just, when I broke away, it was just like a breath of fresh air. However, it didn't come immediately. It took a good while for me to feel that way.
Sure.
Simply because I still had those symptoms of him and those thoughts. And that fear was still there, and I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel protected. I felt like I'm still too close to New York, so I went to Las Vegas and the whole bit. However, he threatened to come there and kill me, and he kept going and going. My brother was so good for me. He said, Latoya, go now, get a restraining order, go to the doctor. I want you to go to the hospital, which I did, show them all your cuts and your bruises, what he's done to you the night prior. So we did all those things, because I wouldn't have known to do that.
No.
I was
Did you feel like you were on the run from him for a while?
I did, because see, although I was totally of age, I was still like a 16 or 15-year-old because I didn't know anybody. I was a strict Jehovah's Witness, and he took me from that to him. So I
You'd lost 12 years of your life.
Everything was, yes, okay. And I believed everything that a person said because that's what we're taught, that people are supposed to be honest. And my family was that way. So it's like he took this innocent character and just destroyed her.
Destroyed her.
But he did it very well. He always said, you say that it's you who wants to do Playboy. You say this when you get there. Oh, no, this is all my thoughts. And those kind of things, although, you know, and I said, wow, this is weird.
Did you do Playboy under his influence?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the people at Playboy will tell you, they call me Mother Teresa at that particular time because I didn't know. I had never seen a Playboy, first of all. Of course, you see the outside covers, but as a Jehovah's Witness, you're not allowed to look at them.
Right.
So I was one of those. I went so far with religion. When I'm religious, I was religious. I did everything on the straight and narrow.
You have religious, and then you have you.
Yeah, I was very like, okay, I can't do that. I can't talk to you because
it's still
you're
the
not
biggest
religious.
selling issue ever, huh?
Yes, the biggest selling issue
Playboy.
ever
It's
still,
unbelievable.
yeah.
And also, because this will clarify everything, when you made the statements during Michael's trial, and then he was accused of, you know, doing all that to little boys, I mean, you actually came out and said you thought it was true because you were abused. Well, that was all a lie. That was all because his influence. He told you to say that.
Yes, but we grew up in an abusive family, meaning that my father. See, this is what's interesting about life.
Yeah.
The way we grew up, and as you get older, you get smarter and you get wiser. And I grew up. You don't realize sometimes when your parents beat you or spank you or things of that nature, they're doing it to help you. But as a child, as a kid, you see it as, why is he hurting me? Why is he doing this to me? And that's how I saw it, and that's how my siblings saw it. Michael wrote about it in his book, how abusive my father was. But the fact of the matter is that they're trying to discipline you. We, all of us, all 9 of us, we're very good kids. Every last one of us, and it's because my father disciplined us.
But was this your father? Your mother never disciplined you?
My mother, no, she wasn't that way. She wasn't that way. She,
but
she
it seems a big contrast, huh? It seems a great contrast. On the one hand, the shy, you know, 9 children, shy, soft-spoken, and on the other hand, the disciplinarian, the father.
We all feared my father, every last one of us. We were just like, oh, Joseph's home, and we would shake and get nervous and the whole bit. The fact of the matter is that there's nothing to be afraid of. My father and I are like this today.
Right.
We're so close, and I love him so dearly, and I'm appreciative now of everything that he's done because it's made me this better person.
Wow.
It's made me the person that I am today.
And you probably understand him better now.
I understand him better that I'm older. As you get older, you start understanding things. You understand why people do the things that they do.
Yeah.
So yes, Gordon did say, you better go then and say what I want you to say. Otherwise, I'm going to kill Michael. And I'm thinking, is it better to kill him or do this or do that? So yes, it's the past. It's something that I don't like to discuss. I don't like to talk about, but it's out there. And it's funny because Larry King told me, he says, you know, in order to start over, you have to go all the way back to your past. And you have to get used to it. You got to bring it to the forefront, and then you can start over. Because if you can't start over with people not knowing what really happened.
Right.
So he was absolutely right.
You have to be comfortable with that period, even if it was a dark period.
It was a very dark.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? It was very, very dark, and I'm just so thankful that I came out of it because I didn't think that I would survive.
You know, I love talking to you about this because it makes sense to me. There's so many stories about the Jackson family, and there's so many stories about your father. And I mean, this sets it straight because it was never a sexually abusive.
My father, he's a good person.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful person. And it's something that I don't really care to discuss, but I love him dearly.
Right.
I love him dearly with all my heart.
And this coming from you where you are today,
where I am
having
today,
lived through everything.
Where I am today. He's an incredible father. He raised all of us, and he's done a darn good job, a very, very good job at raising us. And even today, everybody says that any sibling, the Jacksons, and the guy that works with everybody in my family, that we are the sweetest, not to pat ourselves on the shoulders.
No.
We're the sweetest, kindest, easiest people to work with. And that's because my
father...
Even
a bit naive sometimes.
Oh, yeah, because of religion.
Yeah.
But he was a disciplinarian, and which is really great.
How about Michael? Let's set the record straight about a couple of things. What bugs you most about what is being reported about Michael?
I wish that everybody in this audience, because of course you all know who he is, I wish that the entire world would know the real Michael, the true Michael. He's no different than the person you see sitting here. He's so kind, so lovable, so friendly, so jovial. But you guys, of course, you see the person that doesn't speak or doesn't say anything. He's fun. And I always say, let them see you. Let them see the fun side of you. Let them see you laugh and be silly and let them see us have pool
Is he
fights.
afraid of showing that, or does he think, or has he created a sort of Michael Jackson brand that he thinks that he still has to fulfill every time he goes out?
He's the person that you see, but he's also that person where he's at home. He's comfortable. So he's rolling all over the floor and laughing, and I don't know if you guys ever see that side of him, and it's just wonderful because you take it for granted.
Yeah.
And you don't think anything of it.
How is he nowadays? Are you in touch with him?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Is he all right? Is he well? Is he well?
Yes.
Because he seems a bit on the run from an outside perspective.
Well,
I mean, you hear stories about his house being up for sale or being repossessed.
But that's not true.
It's not true.
No,
That whole Neverland story, the whole thing is repossessed, and
he's fine.
He's losing it.
He's doing very well. He's fine with the home, with everything right now, and yes, he's always moving around because what happened to him when they went into Neverland and they violated his privacy? And you guys weren't there, you don't realize all of these cops coming in and the way they left the home in a wreck. And he felt as if, I will never stay here, I'll never come back here, this isn't my home anymore.
Because it was his sanctuary before, wasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the minute that the verdict was held and they gave the verdict, he left, and he hasn't been back to Neverland since.
He hasn't been back?
Oh, he hasn't been back.
He spends a lot of time in Vegas and in the Middle East.
In the Middle East, he's never gone back, and he says, I'll never go back there. And he said it the day of court. He says, if I'm free,
but
I'm never
can't
going
get
back.
himself to sell it, or he doesn't want to sell it?
Oh, no, he doesn't want to sell it.
Because he wants to go back someday.
He doesn't want to sell it because it's so much a part of him, because he built this place, but at the same time, he won't go back because of how they destroyed it. And when I say destroyed, they went through everything, and it was just a mess, just a mess.
But does he spend most of his time in America nowadays, or?
Well, at the moment, yes, he's in America.
Yeah.
He's in Vegas, Las Vegas.
He's in Vegas.
Yes, at the moment.
Do you think he's going to work again? Do you think he's going to? Because he's such a talented guy. I mean, you said that as well.
Happen. I would so much love to see that happen. Truthfully, I think one day, yes. I really do, because when it's in your blood, Robert, you gotta do it.
Do you believe
but
in his?
He's not ready to do it now.
No. Do you believe in his innocence 100%?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a good person. It's funny because when we were going through this, boy, you're getting the exclusive.
Hey.
You are.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You really are. But when we were going through this, going through the trial and the whole bit, and the whole family, we all stayed at Neverland during that, going to court every day and the whole bit. We would talk and we would discuss what's going on and what's happening and waiting for the verdict and the whole bit. And I would always say, you're going to be vindicated. You're going to be free. Don't worry, you're going to be free. And I would tell him, that just before getting in, I said, Michael, remember something. And he goes, what? I said, remember, think from the end. And he goes, think from the end? I said, think from the end. He goes, what does that mean? I said, think as if it's already happened. Think victory. You've already been, you're free. Think that way. And he goes, oh, okay, I'll think that way. I said, no, think from the end. The ending is already there. You've already put it there, so I'm good. I'm free. And he was.
And you were certain that was going to happen.
Every count, you gotta have a positive attitude about life, about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned all these things, but I learned it the hard way. It took a long time, but I was able to learn it, and I'm so happy that I was able to learn it.
LaToya, and so you yourself, you're working on a new album.
Yes, I am.
Starting over.
It's called Starting Over. I think it's so imperative and so important for people when your life goes wrong or something's going wrong and you're not happy with things in your life. Don't gripe about it. Don't complain. Just start over. That's all you have to do.
Do you feel that sometimes it's a burden being a Jackson, or you don't have those feelings anymore?
No, I have to be quite honest with you. There's a lot of good times that come with it, and then there's a lot of bad times too. So it's
have to take it both.
It works both ways. It works both ways, yes. Because it's funny, because when one Jackson does something, they look at the entire family or blame the whole family. It's really funny how it works, how the world views individually as a whole.
Well, it certainly is an intriguing family, and it's sort of an intriguing story to follow, but also it's great once you get to know, once again, I keep repeating myself, but I love just talking to somebody who's in the family, who tells me this, who looks me in the eye, and you can sort of sense whether it's right or wrong, and this was right. You've been very honest and truthful tonight, I think. And I think it's an amazing story. It's one of the most amazing stories I've ever heard on my show about, what happened to you and what you've gone through.
It's a very interesting story, and I haven't even gotten to the wedding part, but it's a very interesting story.
And we'll do that again.
Okay.
Please come back on my show.
Absolutely.
Will you go out tonight in Amsterdam? Will you party? What are you going to do?
You're supposed to be telling me about a great restaurant. You forgot?
Oh, no. But there's so many great restaurants.
No, you said you were going to tell me about this really great restaurant. You forgot. Come on,
Well,
Robert.
I can tell you about the coffee shops where you can smoke a joint. Oh, no, that's really not for you. I'll tell you about the good restaurants.
It's legal here, isn't it?
It's legal here, yeah.
No.
So maybe you should go. No,
No,
not for you. But a great restaurant. I'll talk to you. I'll think about a great restaurant.
I arrest people like that do
Really?
that.
Oh,
well, yeah, because I'm a cop.
You're on a cop. I'm on a cop show.
So, yeah.
So much more we talk about. We're running out of time.
You just stayed on the family, that's all.
I know, but it's good. We have so much. But it's not the last time I speak to you here, Latoya.
No, of course not.
We have so much more. There's more to come, to be continued.
Yes.
It was amazing having you on the show.
Thank you.
And you are a fantastic woman. Was het een fantastisch verhaal, hè? Fantastisch verhaal. Toya Jackson, everybody! Alright, dames en heren, dat was hem weer, de show voor vandaag. Woensdag 14 mei. Ik bedank mijn gast, the lovely Toya Jackson. Morgen zijn we er weer, dan weer met een spectaculaire show. Zorg dat je niet wist om 6:30 hier op RTL 5. Prettige avond toch. Dames en heren, hier is de one, the only Toya Jackson! Hi, Toya. Good to see you. Good to see you. Toya. Latoya, but I can't believe it to me. I mean, you look even better, even more fantastic, even more hot than last time we saw each other.
Oh, you're being so kind. Thank you.
No, I'm being honest. I'm being honest.
Well, good. Thank
you look
you
fantastic.
very much. How sweet.
Yeah, but first of all, of course, I have to, on a serious note, I have to offer my condolences on the passing of Michael, of course. So, you know, I mean, it's just another chapter also to your life, this. I mean, and having been through everything. I mean, we've made a montage about your life, about some of the stuff we talked about last time, and of course, the passing of Michael. Laten we even kijken naar Latoya.
This is it.
Als we over 100 jaar terugkijken naar de popgeschiedenis, is er maar één naam die er echt toe doet: Jackson. Iedereen heeft zijn eigen meningen over de familie, maar over één ding zijn we het eens. Michael Jackson is de grootste en de beste artiest ooit.
Michael Jackson. Thriller! Beat it! Michael Jackson!
En het fenomeen staat niet op zichzelf. Hij was onderdeel van de belangrijkste muziekfamilie die ooit heeft bestaan. De 12-koppige familie Jackson. En Michaels bijzonderste zusje, dat was Latoya.
I'd like to be right now where you are. That's my biggest goal.
En ze was ook de eerste en allergrootste fan van de altijd bescheiden King of Pop.
She keeps saying that.
Because you've done it all, practically.
I haven't done it all.
Yes, you have.
I would always tell him how incredible he is because I think that he's probably, Michael to me, is one of the best entertainers in the world.
Definitely. Sinds hun prille jeugd deelden Michael en Latoya lief en leed. En volgden ze hem van dag tot dag over de hele wereld.
Michael and I ended up being the closest always. We were always together. We lived together in New York together. We did a lot of things together.
Maar de liefde bekoelde toen Latoya een relatie kreeg met manager Jack Gordon, met wie ze trouwde. Hij maakte de duivel in haar los. En Latoya haalde in die tijd wat acties uit waar ze later spijt van kreeg.
Now you stop and you think for 1 second and you tell me what 35-year-old man is gonna take a little boy and stay with him for 30 days and never leave the room. I love my brother, but it's wrong. I don't want to see these kids hurt. I've been hurt by it too. My father molested me sexually and I don't like it.
Onder druk van Gordon vertelde Latoya het ene na het andere sprookje in de media.
There was all kinds of abuse. It was physical, it was of course emotional, and it was sexual as well.
Latoya sloeg los als een puber uit Spakenburg. En samen met manager Gordon liet ze de wereld zien dat de Jacksons meer in huis hebben dan gouden keeltjes.
But you have good sperm, right, Jack?
Yeah.
You're as virile as the next guy.
We just found out
Are you pregnant?
last night. No, that he has a pretty good sperm.
Haar manager Jack Gordon veranderde langzaam in een monster.
He threatened me many times.
He told me I'm never going back, that now I'm his. And they promise you they're gonna kill you.
Na Gordons dood in april 2005 knapte Latoya eindelijk weer op. Het contact met haar familie werd hersteld. Ze deed eindelijk weer waar ze zin in had en de rest van de familie ook. Michael kende zware tijden, maar hij won zijn rechtszaken en kon doorleven in zijn droomwereld.
I am Peter Pan.
And Michael Jackson.
I'm Peter Pan, my heart.
En Peter Pan besloot nog een extra nieuwe bladzijde toe te voegen aan de geschiedenis. Hij zou 50 concerten geven in de Londense O2 Arena. Maar toen werd het 25 juni 2009.
Sir, I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir. We have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing.
They had to administer CPR.
He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not. Okay.
I want him to wake up.
We're still trying to figure out what his condition is. He's unconscious. He's not breathing. Yes, he's not breathing.
He apparently suffered a heart attack.
My brother, the legendary king of pop, Michael Jackson, passed away on Thursday, June 25th, 2009 at 2:26 p.m.
That day, LaToya, must be very difficult for you to watch this.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
When did you last speak?
Probably, I believe it was 2 weeks or less before he passed. Yes, and it was the normal conversation of how much we loved each other, and Michael always saying, "I love you more," no, I love you more, and the whole bit, that sort of situation. It's, God, it makes me so weak when I see this, because I've never seen This Is It. I can't, that's something I can't see. It's too soon to see that. My mother, she has never seen it as well.
No, because you had grown very close.
Yes,
again.
very, very close.
After a few years of, I mean, we
Yes.
spoke about that in the piece, but
Right,
after a few years of distance,
Yeah,
I mean,
because he understood.
you'd grown exceptionally close again with Michael.
Yes, absolutely.
You supported him through all his hardship and difficult
All
times.
the trials, everything,
All
yes,
the trials.
absolutely.
You were there for him?
Absolutely, yes.
Did you speak to him in person the 2 weeks before
Oh,
he
yeah.
died?
We were right there. We were having dinner together. Actually, we were having Indian food. Yeah, Indian food.
And when did you find out? How did you find out?
I found out my father had called to tell me to get to the hospital because I live 3 minutes away from Michael.
Okay.
And he said, "Go to the hospital. I think they're going to take Michael to the hospital." And I got dressed to go to the hospital, and he says, "You should go over there now." And on my way there, my mother assistant was on the phone, and I asked her where to go because I was, you know, a nervous wreck, not knowing anything. And my mother kept asking who was he talking to, and he said it was me. And she grabbed the phone. She said, "Give me the phone." And she screamed in the phone, "He's dead," as loud as she could. And when she did that, I almost wrecked the car and everything. I couldn't believe it. I got so weak, I couldn't accelerate. I was crying, asking people on the street to please drive me, take me to the hospital. But they couldn't do it because, I don't know, but I was just maybe 2 blocks away.
Because it came that unexpected to you.
It came that unexpected, and I think it was her nerves where she grabbed the phone from the assistant and said, "He's dead," as loud as she could. And it was just a shock.
And he was officially dead by that time?
Oh yeah, he was. You know, it's very sad because when Jermaine was there, he said 2 o'clock, and that's what they quoted. They had him say 2 o'clock. But Michael passed at his house. Yeah. He was gone at his house. He was gone far before they took him to the hospital. The doctor knew he was gone, and he did other things at the house. He gathered and collected things at the house, knowing that he was there.
Yeah, that's Dr. Conrad Murphy,
Yes,
which we'll get to in a second, because, I mean, he plays a role that is just unimaginable, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And you have some clear thoughts about that.
Absolutely.
But also for you personally, I mean, 2 weeks before he died, you saw him in person. Did he appear weak to you? Did you know the extent of his problems?
Well, Michael has always been thin. That's just his nature. He's always been thin. But I noticed that he was extremely thin. Especially when you hugged him, you felt his bones, and and I asked him how were things going, and he said, "Okay." And you just assume they're okay. You just assume that.
Because you spoke about This Is It, the movie, And I personally, I never go to movie premieres in my life. I don't like them enough. But for this one, I went. They actually showed it around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning here. And I went. I wanted to see it. And what struck me, and this is why it doesn't surprise me what you just said. I mean, you met him and you saw him in person. What struck me that there was still a lot of soul there. I mean, I saw a lot of soul, a lot of life. The only thing, the body didn't really appear to be there very much. But I mean, the soul was still there. So he looked weak in that movie, and which sort of is also what you're saying, right? I mean, he was still there, he was still loving, caring, but you felt the body was sort of...
But you know, you also have to take into consideration, too, that what you saw in the movie that they pieced together, Michael wasn't going to rehearsals. They knew that they were going to film that when he went to the rehearsal. They knew this was going to take place. Michael was so freezing cold and so weak, but yet he managed to do what he had to do for the film to make himself look good, for the people that were around him.
He's still dancing, but sort of if you look closer, I mean, you just see, you know, physically, he shouldn't have been there.
He's going through the motions.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, because the little pieces that I see is not the Michael that I know, and it's not the Michael that would want the public to see him that way, because Michael always wants people to see him at his very, very, very best.
Yeah.
And that is not his best.
Were you concerned about those 50 shows that he had to do in London?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you think he could do it? That he would be able to do it?
Absolutely not.
No.
No. And Michael was only to do 10 shows. And that's what he agreed upon. And that's what he thought he was going to do. And then they sold them out rapidly. And they added more shows to it without his permission, without his knowledge. He had no idea, and he was in a catch-22.
Yeah.
It's such a horrible story, if you really think about it. And I understand the story.
I think so, because this is what I wanted to ask you about specifically. Knowing your story, and we touched upon that, you know, with your manager.
Yeah.
What is it about, maybe, I mean, I'm generalizing here, I hope you forgive me, but about the Jackson family, and, you know, having a tendency to be dependent on people who are actually bad for them. Because that's also the story. That was your story? And Michael's story touches a lot upon that as well.
Oh no, it's the same story. It's the exact same story, and that's why I understand it so well, because I was being controlled and told what to do, and everything was taken away from me. And the exact same thing is what they were doing to Michael. Michael was being controlled by the people that surrounded him. And when you say, what is it about the Jacksons that lean towards bad people, is that what you said?
Yeah.
It's not so much that...
well, they become dependent on it for a while. You know what it is, Jensen?
What it is basically is that I think when you're kind and you're nice and you meek, people take advantage of you. People are not, we were raised to respect. We were raised to be honest, believe in what people say. When you say something to me, I believe you're telling me the truth and you won't deceive me. And there are so many con artists out there. There are so many people that want to take advantage of you. And that's what they did with Michael. They saw that he was a kind, sweet, generous person known all over the world.
Royalty.
People would just die to be in his presence, and they saw that, wow, I can boss this kid around, and the world thinks he's incredible, but I can tell him what to do.
And he was vulnerable.
And that's what they did.
And he was vulnerable.
And that's what they did, and it's so sad.
He was vulnerable, and they pounced on that.
Oh yeah, he was very, very, very easygoing, very meek, very soft, could never say no. And they took advantage, and they started piecing and putting people in there and just totally taking advantage of them.
So you're actually saying, so you went to the hospital, but you knew that he'd already died at home, or did you find out later?
At that time, going there, I did not know that whatsoever.
No.
No, I did not know. Because I've done a lot of reading on everything that happened, and I speak to as many people as I possibly can every single day about what happened, what took place, what's going on. And there is a lot there that I think will be revealed within time. You guys have no idea.
Have you been able to piece it together?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, I'd like to hear more about that. But first, I mean, the grief must be, just horrific, and it must be terrible. But also because it becomes a world event. I mean, everybody around the world, falls right into this story. And, and you guys, it's basically, it's also a story about a family losing somebody close to them and important to them. Oh, yeah. But it becomes such a big story. Was it able to find time for personal grief?
During that time that Michael passed, I didn't watch television, and most of my siblings, I don't think they watched television the entire time, so I saw absolutely nothing that was on television, nothing that was going on whatsoever during that time.
But let's talk about the memorial.
Okay.
What was that like? Was that hard? Have you ever seen it? Have you ever looked back at it?
Yes. It was
beautiful, wasn't it? Were you happy? Were you pleased?
Personally, I wasn't happy with it.
No?
No, I wasn't.
Why not?
Because I know my brother. I know what he would have wanted. I wanted it to be more royal. I wanted them to... I wanted to be presidential for him. That's what I wanted. I wanted just the best for him, the absolute best. Don't get me wrong, it was very, very nice,
right.
But I wanted him to have a carriage, a gold carriage, and just
people lined in the streets,
soldiers walking, and I just wanted the best for him because that's the way he would have wanted it. And sometimes I look back on it and I say, I'm so sorry. I wish it could have been better for you because I know him.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Was there a big discussion about this?
Oh, yes,
did you let your feelings know?
We all discussed it, of course, the family, and what we were going to do and how it was going to be done, and different positions. But this is what we ended up doing and having, because my mother didn't want it too spectacular. She was, she's Jehovah's Witness, and she was afraid, saying, oh, but we don't need to make it that grand, and we don't need to do that. So, we had to respect our mother's wishes, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And then, of course.
But it's also a testament to how big his life was.
Yeah.
Because the ceremony itself was already huge. I mean, but it was actually kept smaller.
Yes, we wanted it also in Washington at the memorial. We just wanted it where everybody can come. Because people were wanting to come from all over the world.
Let's take a look how it actually turned out. And it was beautiful.
Op 7 juli 2009 werd een verpletterende afscheidsceremonie gehouden in het Staples Center in L.A. Stevie Wonder was er, Lionel Richie, Mariah Carey en natuurlijk de hele familie.
I feel the king of pop is not big enough for him. I think he is simply the greatest entertainer that ever lived.
Bijna 12.000 fans zagen hoe de familie Jackson afscheid nam van hun opvallendste telg.
Being judged, ridiculed. How much pain can one take? Maybe now, Michael, they will leave you alone.
De uitzending werd wereldwijd door meer dan 1 miljard mensen bekeken. Voor de toekijkende wereldbevolking was het niet alleen een dag van afscheid nemen. Voor het eerst maakten we kennis met een drietal mensen die we alleen nog maar hadden gezien achter maskers. Michaels kinderen. Hij had ze altijd op zorgvuldige afstand gehouden, maar deze dag kregen ze een gezicht. Prince Michael Joseph Jackson, Paris Catherine Jackson en Prince II alias Blanket.
I love my daddy so much.
Michaels kinderen zijn altijd omgeven geweest met mysterie. De verschillende moeders spelen geen enkele rol meer in hun leven. En het was ook maar de vraag of Michael wel de biologische vader was. En hun toekomst was al net zo vaag. Wie gaan de kinderen grootbrengen? Michael had zijn moeder Catherine aangewezen als voogd. Met als runner-up zijn oude vriendin Diana Ross.
Ever since I was born, Daddy has been the best father you could ever imagine.
The thing that struck us most, of course, was seeing the children. What do you think? Do you think Michael would have wanted them there on television for the world to see?
Well, it wasn't really a question of whether he would have wanted them there or not. This was their father. this was a memorial for their father. And you must understand something. Michael's kids are highly intelligent.
Yeah.
They're very, very bright kids. And parents will let you know, I want to go. I want to see my daddy. I want to be there. And you can't say no to that. True. They wanted to go. They wanted to be there. And we let them do what they wanted to do, because after all, you never want anyone to say that, you know, I want to see him, and they wouldn't allow me to see my father.
Right.
Even in the hospital, they were crying hysterically. Of course, the father wasn't there. And they asked the nurse if they could see him one more time, and my mother didn't want it. And the nurse says, no, it's totally okay. It'll give them closure. And so me and the kids went to see him one last time, and I'm so sorry, I'm so nervous, my whole body's just shaking.
Yeah.
One last time, and they were crying the entire time. They were on my mother's lap, all three of them, and just crying, just begging to see him one more time. And the minute we walked in that room to see him, and we all held hands, and we all prayed over him and told him how much we loved him, and we touched his face and his hands and his body, and we all kissed him and told him how we felt and what we liked most. And after that, the kids stopped crying, and they never cried again.
Do you think, Michael, do you think it's murder?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said it in the beginning, and I believe it to this day. You must remember, Michael told me repeatedly that they were going to kill him.
Ik heb een hele belangrijke oproep. Word mijn vriend op Hives. Ik heb vrienden nodig. Ook belangrijk, volg me op Twitter. En je vindt me de hele dag op snafu.nl, de nummer 1 entertainment site van Nederland. Belangrijke oproep. Word mijn vriend op Hives. Ik heb vrienden nodig. Ook belangrijk, volg me op Twitter. En je vindt me de hele dag op snafu.nl, de nummer 1 entertainment site van Nederland. How have you personally moved on from this? I mean, it's probably, you know, you're moving on slowly.
Well, it's kind of difficult, you know, in a sense. You say, how have you moved on? Because when you're there and you're putting all the elements together.
That's the thing now. That's the thing.
And you're putting everything together, and
because you're not at all happy with the findings so far, or you're not at all happy just closing it off and moving on with your life. You think you're convinced there's a story there that needs to be told.
Oh no, there is.
Yeah.
There absolutely is. There's no doubt about it.
Okay, laten we even kijken, want there's so many questions and we've put a few together and we'd love to hear your comments on that. Okay. Laten we even kijken.
Well, we're on our way there. If your guy's doing CPR and you're instructed by a doctor, he has a higher authority than me. And he's there on scene.
Okay.
Did anybody witness what happened?
No, just the doctor, sir. The doctor's been the only one. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sinds Michaels overlijden gaat er geen dag voorbij zonder nieuws. Zijn dood gaat nog altijd gepaard met honderden vragen. En in bijna alle vragen komt steeds weer dezelfde naam terug. Die van Michaels lijfarts, Dr. Conrad Murray. Wie was deze man precies? En had hij eigenlijk wel het beste voor met Michael? En waarom hield hij vitale informatie achter voor andere artsen?
Okay, so the doctor see what happened?
Doctor, did you see what happened, sir? Sir, you just, if you can please...
we're on our way.
Murray gaf Michael de fatale cocktail van pijnstillers. En dan hebben we het niet over een aspirintje, maar over propofol, een heftig narcosemiddel, vergelijkbaar met chloroform. Al vanaf het eerste moment weet Toya dat dit geen ongelukje was.
was murdered. It was murder. I think someone did it.
De vraag is waarom Michael zoveel pijnstillers kreeg. Wou hij dat echt zelf of had Dr. Murray andere redenen? Waarom belde Murray pas zo laat een ambulance en bleef hij zelf tegen beter weten in pogingen doen om Michael te reanimeren? En waarom verzweeg hij het middel propofol te noemen tegen de ambulancebroeders? Dit had Jacksons leven namelijk kunnen redden.
Because of all that is going on, I'm afraid to return phone calls or use my email. Therefore, I recorded this video to let all of you know that I have been receiving your messages.
Inmiddels is Murray aangeklaagd voor doodslag en wacht hem een beroepsverbod. De dokter beweert zelf onschuldig te zijn. Inmiddels is de voltallige familie Jackson ervan overtuigd dat Michaels leven is bepaald door een reeks medische missers. Bewust of onbewust, gemaakt door Dr. Conrad Murray.
It's funny, I mean, your face tells 1,000 stories.
Oh, it
I mean,
does?
yeah, if you look at footage from Michael, I mean, your face lights up, you know, your eyes become very happy. But when you just saw the picture of that doctor, Dr. Conrad Murray, I mean, your face told the opposite story. Do you think, Michael, do you think it's murder?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said it in the beginning, and I believe it to this day. Absolutely. Absolutely. You must remember, Michael told me repeatedly that they were going to kill him, that he was going to die. And he would say that. And when I heard my mother scream, "He's dead," immediately I said, "Who did it?" I didn't say what for, what of, what happened, who did it. Because he repeatedly said that. And he not only told me, he told my mother as well,
Yeah.
and she mentions it quite often too.
And who did it?
There's quite a few involved. The doctor that you're looking at, the doctor that you see there, was the fall guy. That's what he was. He was the fall guy.
And so there are people in the background?
There are people in the
pulling
background.
strings?
Yes, absolutely.
And is it mainly for business purposes or personal purposes?
No, strictly business.
Strictly business.
Strictly business.
It's people wanting to use Michael as a cash cow?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's horrible how sort of...
There's so much that the world doesn't know.
Yeah.
There's so much that's being covered up. There's so much that's being said. When you speak out, they divert everything.
Yeah.
And
it's also, it becomes so inhumane when there are people just in it for the profits, for the money.
Absolutely.
I mean, Michael doesn't become a person anymore. He becomes just a product type of thing.
just a product.
that
And that's what he was when he was alive.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing to him alive. And
he
that's
used-
when they knew he was worth more dead than alive. And that's what happened to my brother.
Okay. So he's worth more dead than
They
alive.
knew all of this. They knew what they
Because
were
Michael
planning.
used to be, or that's just what I saw from the outside, he used to be quite a clever, smart businessman. I mean, he used to be in control, at least, you know, of his business empire. But that may have changed the past couple of years.
It's called control.
Yeah.
It's called control.
And he lost it.
It's absolutely. It's
Or some people
dividing
took it.
and it's conquering and it's controlling.
Yeah.
His life is no different than what I went through with the ex-manager.
Yeah.
Michael, the difference is it was on a much larger scale.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Right.
That's the difference. He was totally being controlled, completely, as to what time you go to bed, when you wake up, what you do. You guys have no idea. He was totally being controlled. If you don't do this, then we're not going to do this, and you're not going to have this. He was being controlled the entire time.
And these people kept him drugged so that he wouldn't have anything to say about it, and he couldn't even say anything about it.
It's a very, very sad story.
He was basically helpless.
It's a sad story. It's a sad story.
And nobody could, because, I mean, you could say, I mean, why wasn't there nobody who did an intervention there? I mean,
No, there were many interventions.
But if the person himself cannot do it anymore,
Exactly.
a person has to make the change
If that
himself.
person's in denial, but of course, nobody knew what it really was.
To the extent, yeah.
Yes, and then, of course, the people that surrounded themselves around him would keep the family away.
Yeah.
Always. Always. It was very difficult. They would keep the family away.
And are you trying to put the puzzle together? Are you working hard on this? I mean, you do your own investigation, like you just said.
It's very important. This is my brother. I think it's important to find out exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let it just pass by like most people are.
No.
I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair to him. I don't think it's fair to his children and to the world.
But there's quite a serious investigation going on right now. I mean, or you don't have, or maybe you don't have faith in that.
You know, you're right. There is an investigation that's going on.
Yeah.
And I don't have all the faith in that. No, absolutely not. Because there are ways that people cover up situations, and of course, then you're dealing with detectives that aren't always 1,000% there. That, you know, says, okay, then let's just say this happened. Then you speak to someone else. No, that's not what happened. Wait a minute. What are you guys saying? I remember when this was there and that happened there.
Yeah.
So everything is quite. It's confusing. It's complicated, but at the same time, It's very simple.
Are you helping the investigation? Everything you know? Have they interviewed you for this?
No, they have never interviewed me. In the beginning, I was working with them.
No, okay.
But they have never interviewed me. They have never interviewed anyone really in my family except for one person. And that's very interesting. Very interesting.
So you fear it's going to be some sort of whitewash?
Oh, they have already said that, you know, it's strictly the doctor. It is not the doctor.
But they are at least charging him with homicide, right?
Of course the doctor did it, but the doctor was the fall guy.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a conspiracy.
They need to go behind
This
that.
is a conspiracy, yes.
And the doctor might not reveal. I mean, do you think the doctor is just a hired hand in this? Or is the doctor involved also with the people in the background?
He's involved.
He's involved.
Yes, he's absolutely involved with everything
Because
that was going on.
these drugs that they
So you must remember, the doctor, this is like a magician.
Yeah. No.
This is what it's like a magician. The magician, you know, he's doing magic trick and we're all watching this hand because this is the magic that's going on. Meanwhile, this is what's really going on over here. But we're watching this hand. This hand is the doctor. This is what's really going on over here. And that's what you have to keep in mind.
Yeah. Do you think the truth will reveal itself? Will it come out? I think you're hesitant to say...
Oh yeah, it'll come out.
You think it'll come out?
Yes, yes. Yes, it'll come out. It will.
But it's unbelievable. I mean, we're a year on almost, aren't we? Yeah,
yes.
Something like that. And every day, like I just said, it's in the papers, every day new revelations. And it's not going to stop for...
But it doesn't seem like a year. I understand what you're saying. The time has gone by so rapidly. It doesn't seem like a year whatsoever. It's amazing. It's simply amazing.
Because it's just, I mean, that must really be frustrating to you guys. Is all these people who are, once again, trying to profit of Michael now. Because, I mean, there's actually been a slight uproar in this country about it. Because there's a guy, Albert Verlinde, What? That's true. Listen, he's the host of an entertainment program. Just to give you an example, host of an entertainment program. And he used to joke and make fun of Michael all the time. Then this happens, and the guy starts producing a musical about Michael's life.
Oh, really?
You know? And that to me seems to be just profiteering of somebody. You know,
you're right.
Slacking the guy off.
You're right.
You know, when he was alive and saying he was this, he was that, he was that. And then all of them, you know, putting on this face of empathy. And you know, actually, he was great, and then producing a musical about it.
Really? So it's here?
Yeah. Oh. No, but I mean, that must happen all over the world.
You know, there are so many musicals in every country, basically, on Michael.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure some of them are well intended, but
probably
it's all over the world.
Yeah, but you know, the good part about it is that they're keeping his legacy alive.
Yeah.
And that's what I want more than anything else. I just want people never to forget him.
No.
Always remember him. Most incredible talent there is. And he was a gift from God.
Yeah.
He was special. He was very special.
The Michael Jackson fans, have they been support to you? Have they been
Yes,
helpful?
they have. They've been very supportive. And it's wonderful for them to share their support and their love. And I want to thank all the fans here in Holland because they're such wonderful fans. And we need their support. We need them to be by our side. We need the fans to be there because they, too, know so much as well, and they can help with the story.
Yeah, because I want to bring on another guest, and he has been on the show before. And I haven't spoken to him since Michael's death. En hij is de beste Michael Jackson lookalike ter wereld. Dames en heren, mag ik een groot applaus voor Emmanuel de Reigere. That's fine. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Latoya,
Thank you.
I know...
It's Belgian chocolates, and I know you loved it, so I brought it for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Emmanuel, I know Emmanuel, he's been on the show before. He's a huge Michael fan. And he actually, you know, went through surgery to look more like Michael.
Yes.
I mean, just tell Emmanuel how much you adore Michael.
Well, Michael was a purpose in my life from I was a child till now. not only because of his dance and his looks and his fashion and his singing, but also what I do really like is his personality. And I guess that's something that the whole Jackson family has, also included you. You guys, you have such a... And I guess that's something that the whole Jackson family has, also included you. You guys, you have such a wonderful, wonderful, caring and loving personality, and that's why I'm so honored to sit here with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And people are always talking, like you mentioned, the shows like From Now, like Move Like Michael Jackson. It is something, well, I don't have anything against these shows because those kind of shows are keeping Michael a legend alive.
Yes,
but it's the way that they do these shows. It's so commercial, and like the guy he was telling, it is true. He has said so many bad things about Michael. Like I have an interview with him when he is saying such people as Michael Jackson, they should lock them up and never get out. And then those guys are making such a shows like My Name is Michael and a whole musical around it. And it is so, how hypocrite can one be?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Ebenebel, I mean, how has that affected you when you found out Michael died? I mean, he has been sort of the main thing in your life. I mean, you lived for Michael.
I decorated my house into Michael.
Your face,
the colors, a little bit of surgery, the clothing, the fashion, my music, the inspiration, and I was really shocked because I was that night. I've ordered my tickets for This Is It in London, and I've ordered my train tickets that night, and 1 hour later the shocking news was there and I was totally broken.
How long, je kunt ook Nederlands praten natuurlijk met jou, hè?
Ja.
Ja. Maar hoe lang heb jij in een dip, zoals we dat hier zeggen, gezeten? Hoe lang?
Goh, het was echt wel zo... Ja, ik was er...
Ja. De omschakeling is wel... Well, he speaks Dutch as well.
But my language is Dutch, is the same as here.
With an accent, so that's sort of the change was a little bit... Maar het is echt zwaar voor je geweest, kan ik zo
Ja, het is heel zwaar geweest voor mij, omdat uiteindelijk... is dat wel zo, ja, je staat daar niet bij stil, maar...
Ja.
I'm just... I'll show you my eyes, then you see that it's real.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I will.
Keep doing what you're doing.
It means really a lot.
Ik heb een hele belangrijke oproep. Word mijn vriend op Hives. Ik heb vrienden nodig. Ook belangrijk, volg me op Twitter. En je vindt me de hele dag op snafu.nl, de nummer 1 entertainment site van Nederland.
Mannen, heel veel...
Belangrijke oproep. Word mijn vriend op Hives. Ik heb vrienden nodig. Ook belangrijk, volg me op Twitter. En je vindt me de hele dag op snafu.nl, de nummer 1 entertainment site van Nederland.
Have you been able to move on with your life, or not yet?
I stopped a little bit of dancing and shows because it was too hard to me to perform.
Yeah.
Because I'm a really an emotional guy, and that's why it's not easy. Some people say the show must go on, but it doesn't, because if you heard such a news, then the following weeks you can't be on a stage because other people, and you see some hypocrites, and you don't want that, and leave me alone for the moment.
Toya, but you must have met many fans around the world. I mean, since Michael died, whose life have actually, changed and been, altered, devastated by this, by what happened.
Yes, there are so many fans, and we thank them for all their support, that are terribly devastated. And they come to you and they tell you that their life will never be the same. Everything has changed, and they don't know what to do with themselves.
No.
And it's amazing that he had that kind of touch and profound feeling people felt for him.
It was a magnetism.
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely. And it's something that you have to acknowledge and say, wow, he was really an incredible, wonderful person to really touch people that way.
It's really his personality.
Yeah, you see the love and the care there.
Yes.
And you just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I will show you my eyes, then you see that it's real.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I will.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Dit betekent denk ik heel veel voor jou, hè, dat Toya dit zegt.
It means really a lot because I know what a good heart the Jackson family and especially then Michael had. It's always so strange to say had because I always wanted to say have.
Right.
But
no,
because it's like she said, it's been a year, but it's for me it's not I don't have the feeling that it is a year. Then now it's 25th of June they will have like all these tribute shows, but on one side it's okay to keep a legend alive, but on the other side I don't want it.
You're actually quite angry about it. That's what I sort of. I understand that. That's also a part of the mourning.
Yeah, because I have never felt that his death was natural.
No.
If you have like 2 days.
No, I know. We understand. I mean, Toya is.
He was singing, dancing, so alive, and then no, it's something.
No, it wasn't natural, and keep believing that it was not natural.
I don't
it wasn't
think.
natural at all.
No.
Nou, ik ben er wel veel sterkte met alles. Bedankt dat je gekomen bent.
Thank you.
Toya, I mean, I also want to, wish you from the depth of my heart a lot of strength, and I hope you get through this all right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Do you have what kind of projects are you working on? Because I mean, I do think that's probably important to keep your mind off this.
Yes, of course. I've continued to do what I was doing before he passed, which is celebrity branding group is what I'm doing, and I brand different celebrities with my business partner Jeffrey. But it's very important to move on with your life. But at the same time, this is something that's very close and dear to your heart, meaning your brother, and I'm not going to rest until I find out what truly took place and what happened.
I think you should. I think you shouldn't. I think you should keep it up.
I'm going to make sure.
Toya, thank you very much for coming on the show again. It was once again, quite a story, and all the best, and also to the family, to the children, from all of us here, and thanks a lot for stopping by. Toya Jackson, everybody.
Tot volgende week. Of tot morgen bij Snafu TV. Hè. Vorige week de eerste aflevering gedaan. Morgenavond is het weer hier op RTL 5. 10 voor half 11. RTL 5 Snafu TV. Spreek wel morgen. Bye bye.